Ukraine Today is joined by the director of the Foundation for German-Polish Cooperation, Mr. Cornelius Ochmann. Mr. Ochmann, welcome to Ukraine Today.
Hello.
Mr. Ochmann, I understand your foundation has been working for more than 25 years on establishing the bilateral cooperation between Germany and Poland. But just 2 years ago, when you joined the foundation, you started expanding and including Ukraine as one of your key areas. So can you tell about the projects on which the foundation is currently supporting here in Ukraine?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. It's really a pleasure to be here in Kiev. And as you mentioned, one of my main tasks is to extend the work of the foundation to Eastern Europe, not only to Ukraine. For example, one of our projects is to bring young journalists from Ukraine, not from Kiev and not from UTV station, but young people working in small towns in Ukraine to Germany and to Poland. So we are organizing trips to Warsaw, to Berlin. Last week we brought a group of journalists to Hamburg, to the Spiegel, leading German magazine. It's one of our projects.
Well, I understand there are also several other projects which you're supporting, namely you are bringing the young people from Eastern Ukraine to travel to Germany, Poland, and even France. And I assume that most of them must be traveling abroad for the first time. How do they feel when they appear, when they find themselves in a different world?
I think they are really surprised why the Germans are not interested so deep in the development in Ukraine. I often have the feeling that the Ukrainians are thinking the Germans, Poles are dealing with Ukraine every day or every hour. And it's not true, because we have different other problems in Europe, and Ukraine and the Russian invasion in eastern Ukraine is only one of the challenges in the European Union.
So, Mr. Cornelius, you joined the foundation 2 years ago, right before the events which are now known in Ukraine as the Euromaidan Revolution. So how challenging was your work during these 2 years?
Yes, of course, it was a big challenge, because the foundation haven't been prepared for such changes in Eastern Europe. And we react immediately. I mean, in January 2014, the board decided to extend our program to Ukraine, to invite not only young people, but to invite experts. As you know, we just have presented a report here in Kiev about view of Ukraine in Germany and in Poland. So from my point of view, we have reacted directly. But of course, the challenges are really deep. I think we should try to explain to the people in Germany and in Poland that Ukraine cannot stay alone with these challenges, and we will try in the future to extend our programs in Ukraine.
Mr. Cornelius, with the real war raging in eastern Ukraine, there is also a great deal of information war happening on the European continent, which is mostly triggered by Russia. So Russian information war is very extensively penetrating the European mass media. With what you are learning on the ground, both in Poland and Germany, what are the perceptions of the events by Polish and German people of the events which are happening here in Ukraine, and namely in eastern Ukraine?
Okay, first of all, there are big differences between the reception in Poland and in Germany. The Russian propaganda has no chance in Poland, because the interest of the Polish media is much deeper as the German media. So the Poles get a lot of information from their own media, but there is different situation in Germany. A lot of Germans are influenced by the Russian propaganda, but in my opinion, this propaganda is too aggressive. The Germans are overloaded by Russian media, by Russian propaganda, and the Germans are not interested in propaganda. The Germans are interested in information, and on the basis of this information, the people decide by themselves what they think about the development. And from this point of view, I think the Russian propaganda is too aggressive and not so influential as the Russians means.
Would you say that Russia starts losing information war in Germany?
Yes, the Russian media are on the best way to lose on influence because they are too aggressive.
What about Ukrainian media? What about information which the Germans receive from about the events in Ukraine from the Ukrainian media? Is it coming through?
Unfortunately not, but I think it's not the best way to inform the Germans. I think the best way is to support, for example, German TV here as Deutsche Welle, or invite correspondents from Germany to Ukraine, to Kiev, to give them a chance to create their own information basis. On this basis, the people in Germany will decide in own responsibility what they think.
Your foundation works on cooperation between the two nations, Poland and Germany, and Poland has been very strong in supporting Ukraine in this war and standing against Russia, whereas Germany was rather restrained, and especially the German Chancellor was quite restrained in their remarks on supporting Ukraine and pressuring Russia. And a lot of people here in Ukraine would like to see more proactive approach from Germany. Do you think this is possible sometime in the future, that Germany will have a stronger position on this issue?
I'm not a speaker of the German government, but I think that the German government, especially Chancellor Merkel, are still playing a role of a good makler in this situation. And if you see the German economic interests in Russia, which are 10 times higher than in the Ukraine, so I think from this point of view, Germany are not supporting Russia, are not supporting Ukraine. We are interested in a clear solution of this complicated situation, and Germany will try to support a peaceful solution of the conflict in eastern Ukraine.
If putting politics aside, and talking about the people, you just said that the Germans are fed up with Russian propaganda. They are overloaded with it. They stopped believing it.
Yeah.
So would you say that the Germans, the ordinary people in Germany, are also fed up with Russia?
Not at all, not at all, because German population is really in a situation in which the people are not interested in conflicts. So this peaceful behavior of Germany is in this situation maybe a problem, but it's a result of the changes in Germany after the Second World War. So from this point of view, the people are not interested in any support of Russia or any support of Ukraine, and they are overloaded by conflict. Let's take the situation in Greece. We have got more than 300,000 refugees from Southern Europe, from North Africa. And on this basis, the Germans are in very difficult situation at the moment, and we are very happy that our eastern neighbors, I mean Poles, are much more interested in Ukraine than we are, and we hope that the Poles will manage the situation there and we can concentrate on other conflicts.
Well, let's hope that the Germans will at some point become more interested in this situation and this conflict as well, because this really poses a threat to the entire European continent. Mr. Ochmann, many thanks for coming to us and talking to us. This was Volodymyr Sulu for Ukraine Today, together with the director of the Foundation for German-Polish Cooperation, Mr. Cornelius Ochmann. Thank you for watching us.